It's Friday, October 29th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Bahamas gets a new multi-million-dollar radar satellite. COVID-19 hospitalizations are down. The Marathon MP giving back. And we're feeling the Halloween spirit. So let's start the morning off right.
Morning edition. I'm Catwoman LaDawn Davis. It's Halloween weekend, and we want to thank the balloon people and Cecile Bethel especially for fixing up our studio to celebrate this occasion. There's everything from creepy skeletons to spiders and even an upside down witch who seems to have lost her way. Well, we're going to take it out onto the outside. A cold front is forecasted to enter the northwestern islands and slowly drift southeastward through the archipelago this weekend. Today's weather forecast calls for partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. High temperature today is 88 degrees with an overnight low of 75 degrees.
The Bahamas on the receiving end of a big donation from the U.S. government that's intended to tighten border protection against illegal migration and poaching. A $2.4 million radar satellite is set to pave the way for a new level of security in this country.
Given that the island of Bimini is only 50 miles away from the state of Florida, it is no surprise that we share many of the same challenges in patrolling and securing our waters. This shared interest makes the sharing of resources, equipment, and information essential to making this region a safer place.
The radar will permit identification of threatening activities and anomalous behavior. Being able to acquire such a system where it did not exist previously strengthens the foundation that now exists and is a critical step in building a regional partnership and strengthening security.
This site will be linked with the existing location at Great Anagua and expanded sites at Great Exuma Island and Ragged Island to form a network of a series of radars presenting an outstanding opportunity for information sharing between our countries.
The more time I spend here, the more I realize how difficult it is to administer this archipelago on so many levels, but especially on the security level. So I am very proud that the U.S. military and the RBDF can cooperate to help the Bahamas truly gain control over their own territory.
A marked decrease in COVID-19 hospitalizations as reflected on the October 26 and 27 dashboards. The previous dashboard showed a total of 78 hospitalizations with 13 people in the intensive care unit. One day later, those numbers slid to 67 and 5. As for cases, the two-day period pulled in a combined total of 45 new infections, 23 on Tuesday, 22 on Wednesday. Together, New Providence accounted for 38 of those cases, Grand Bahama 3, Eleuthera 2, Inagua 1, while the location of another is pending. At last count, 21,079 people had recovered from the virus. Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, providing more insight on COVID-19 testing requirements. He indicated that it is mandatory for testing facilities to report rapid antigen tests and RT-PCR tests so that the country can get an accurate picture of the COVID-19 situation.
Every lab or testing facility to the country have been instructed to report their findings so that it could be incorporated in our database so that we can get a true indication of where we are with COVID. I assure you that the two pieces of regulations that will be tabled in the House of Assembly on the way forward in managing the pandemic addresses the absolute essential criteria for labs to report what's going on. And if you do not report, you are subjected to penalties.
A strong appeal to parents with children having difficulty accessing education to reach out to those who can assist. Education, Technical and Vocational Training Minister, the Honorable Gladys Hannah Martin, stressed as much in the House of Assembly in a communication that spoke to efforts being made to reverse what's been deemed a devastating impact that the pandemic has had on learning.
I know it is difficult and can sometimes feel impossible, but we are all facing this national crisis together. We must do all that we can to ensure that our students, our children, our future are making the most of opportunities being provided. We need your support and collaboration for this to work. At times, sacrifices may be necessary and compromises will be made as we navigate this challenging time. If we want to achieve any measure of success, it can only be done through unity of purpose and parents, teachers, students, and administrators working together.
Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, not mincing words when addressing the state of the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute. He says the North Andros property has been neglected for years.
Disappointing that within the past 4.5 years, it seems nothing has been done. The policy and objectives of the Institute was changed to compete with farmers, and that wasn't the intention. Simple things such as providing electricity for the Institute hasn't been accomplished, and it seems that it's just been sitting there dormant. I made the comment that it reminded me of the ghost cities in China, where they build cities and just leave them.
And still to come, the Marathon MP is giving back, so keep it locked.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Every business establishment must have distance markers 6 feet apart, indicating where each customer must stand at check-in points. Have a hand sanitizing station visible at the entrance of the store for all customers to sanitize their hands before entering the store. I am Ambassador Latario Farrington of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be yours.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Well, you can get much more than a fill-up at the newest Rubis franchise on Gladstone Road. The new location officially opened its doors on Thursday. Keishla Adderley was there.
Cutting the ribbon to the newest Rubis franchise on Gladstone Road Thursday, the latest venture, which took partner Merit Store back in history.
RBC Royal Bank Bahamas Limited financed the opening of our first location at Faith Avenue back in 2000. They lent us $150,000 in startup costs at a time when banks were not enthusiastic about lending to petroleum industry retailers. They have been our primary bankers ever since. And when we advised them of our plans for this location, they did not hesitate to step forward and offer to fund this multi-million-dollar project. The directors of JML Group appreciate the confidence shown in a couple of Bahamian men from humble beginnings.
More than a fill-up, the superstation is cooking with gas, providing convenient services, all led by local principals, as partner Ethan Moss points out.
Foreign direct investment, Rubis, coupled with Bahamian partnership, is a model that can help us build our country if we apply ourselves appropriately. I think that this is quite a great synergistic blend of partners: Rubis, Bamboo, Lewis and St. Scotia, Cashingo, Bank of the Bahamas. These are all Bahamian partnerships.
It's something Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis supports, likening it to the ideal relationship between a government and its people.
If your business and your business mantra is to be successful, not by metrics, but by how you make your employees feel, how you grow your employees, and how you interact with the community in which your business exists and thrive, you too will thrive. I often say that governments and successive governments, and that's why I was so moved by your story, because it reminded me too that the success of our country is not to be measured by the metrics. Very often you say, well, the GDP, there's growth. The GDP grew by 2%, and so we were successful. But if you identify, when you extract where that growth was, you quite often find that the growth was not where it was most needed, and that is amongst the vulnerable amongst us.
You can now get Bamboo Shack while on the go. CEO Elaine Pinder, proud to be part of the vision.
Bamboo Shack is certainly pleased to be a part of this venture, which is a new level of comprehensive service and conveniences to our valued customers. We thank you, Jamel Investments, Rubis, and all those who work to bring this idea to life.
The fusion of franchises and businesses are expected to draw a wide cross-section of customers, but this one in particular has assured his support.
Every time I need gasoline, and as I come into Tall Pines, I'll make sure that I hold off until I come to this station. So I want to thank you.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, was the keynote speaker at the one-day Exuma Business Outlook seminar. He told stakeholders that the government plans to closely monitor and regulate the vacation rentals market.
We plan to have registration and inspection of vacation rental properties for the safety of our guests, for the protection of our product and our destination. The Ministry of Tourism have already asked the department to build out requirements for doing this on a framework where we can enable it very quickly. While it will be a cabinet level decision, I can tell you that I will recommend that VAT be required on vacation rentals.
Over on Cat Island, authorities are still investigating a fire that destroyed 5 stalls at the regatta site. Press Secretary Clint Watson says Prime Minister and Area Member of Parliament, the Honorable Philip Davis, will address this issue head-on.
We're awaiting a report from police as to what led to the fire. It's important for you to understand that the Member of Parliament, who is the Prime Minister, has been working with the District Council, the Red Cross and Northern Command to get water bowsers on the island that is used. One is already in the north at the police station and one is in the south. It's important to also know that equipment is actually the equipment of choice on family islands nowadays. These equipment can be used, can use fresh or salt water to be able to use it. And it's also based on the type of fire, the agent can still be used in the apparatus, whether it's oil fire, whatever it is, they can use the agent that's specified. The fire can fit in this apparatus as well. But to the people of the Prime Minister is aware of it. He has dispatched teams from the various agencies to be on the ground and just provide whatever assistance they can, not only to the families affected, but also to the matter and to the situation.
Practical application is a key element for students obtaining a degree in culinary arts at the University of the Bahamas. This morning, Carla Palmer takes a closer look at the program and UB's plans for the area study moving forward.
For years now, Choice's dining room on the University of the Bahamas campus has served as the training ground for students enrolled in the Culinary Arts and Tourism Studies program.
You'll always want to start from the outside of the table coming in. Okay, from the outside coming in. If something drop, if a cover drop on the floor, you don't pick it up. You just take your feet and slide it under the table and inform the server you need additional cover. and the cover will be replaced.
Choices Dining Room is where students actually have one part of their mandatory training, commonly referred to as the front of the house. Here, Chef Sterling Thompson, food service lecturer at UB, is responsible for training students as busboys or girls, waiters, food and beverage servers, and bar attendants.
Practical application is very, very important because you have to actually serve the food properly without bringing any danger to the guest or to yourself. For example, when serving something hot, you actually train the student, inform the students to that they have to use a splash guard. The principle here is actually customer satisfaction. The objective of the training exercise is to meet the guests and ensure that they, upon arriving, we meet and exceed their expectation as relate to service. That involves interacting with the guests at the table, ensuring that they're okay. Sometimes you have a guest come into the restaurant, may not be in a good mood. So as a server, the server role is to get to know that guest and to find out how they can change the attitude of that guest while at the restaurant.
18-year-old Mia Strawn is a freshman at UB, enrolled in the Culinary Arts program. She is one of 15 students in a training rotation every 14 weeks.
I've been baking from, I don't even know, but I was always in the kitchen because I was always hungry. So, I had to find a way to feed myself. But mostly on the sweet side, I would start off with box cakes, brownies, and then I wanted to know how could I make that myself. So my father would help me, and we would be in the kitchen all day making stuff and calling everybody over to just taste what I made, and everybody is so proud of it. And I just like to see the joy it brings on people's faces.
Interim Executive Director of Culinary Arts and Tourism Studies Unit at UB, Chef Mario Adderley, says finding qualified people in the field is the country's biggest challenge. Nevertheless, it's a problem the university will address.
We've been working for the past 6 years to develop our bachelor's in culinary arts. We go as far as an associate level, and that's good because it gets the students in the door, they get the exposure, they can advance. But we want to see our Bahamian chefs aspire to senior management posts, and for that they need to have a higher degree. And so fall 2022 we will be offering for the first time a bachelor's in culinary arts, and we hope to have our associates in pastry arts offered at the same time.
At present, over 300 students are enrolled in the Culinary Arts program.
Member of Parliament for Marathon, the Honorable Lisa Ramming, making a generous donation to Prayer and Deliverance Ministries leader Bishop Roll. A few weeks ago, a video went viral on social media with Bishop Roll making an urgent appeal to members of the public for help in the midst of operational challenges. The Marathon MP heeded the call and presented the bishop with a large handmade cooking grill along with cash. During the presentation, Ramming applauded Bishop Roll for his continued efforts in assisting the poor, especially those in the Marathon community. She challenged others, including her cabinet colleagues, to also do their part in giving back. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Bishop Roll thanked Ramming and her team for their continued support. And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On October 29, 1989, Chalks International Airlines discontinued its service from Florida to Nassau. Also on October 29, 1995, the government outlawed the catching and caging of stingrays.
Did you know that there are over 30,000 Bahamians with diabetes and another 23,000 with prediabetes? Each year, this number is expected to increase. Many people who have diabetes are unaware. If you are having blurry vision, feeling thirsty, urinating frequently, or are unusually tired or losing weight despite a healthy diet, you may have diabetes. If you have a parent or sibling that has diabetes, you are also at an increased risk of developing diabetes. If you have noticed any of these symptoms, it is important to see your doctor, who will perform the necessary tests to confirm the diagnosis. Together, we can beat diabetes.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. If you have been asked to have your labs drawn to assess your kidney and liver function, please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Specialized services such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are necessary as they help to restore you back to normal health. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
Are you ready to trick or treat? I know I am, and still haven't found that ideal costume. Well, the Morning Edition team has you covered. Well, we have live in studio Freddy Krueger and Chucky Lorando Ferguson and his guests. Gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Edition. So talk to me a little bit about how did you guys get into business?
All right, first to start off, we started off with a mask company, just bringing in regular masks, you know, for the pandemic from like about last year ago. So just start off like with a regular mask company, disposables, bringing in masks for people who wanted to, you know, just wear regular masks.
What are some of the costumes that you have to offer this time around?
Oh, well, we have a wide variety. Obviously, we got the Chucky and we have the Freddy, but it branched out to Netflix. So Netflix has like a few series. The Money Heist was very popular. Also, we have a new one. It's the Squid Games. That was one of the most popular right now. Like everybody wants to get the Squid Games. So that's one of the popular with.
And how has sales been for you so far?
Oh, it's been lovely. It's been lovely. Like I say, it's not only like a Halloween costume thing. It's regular masks and stuff like that too for the pandemic. And then also we do like shows and stuff like that now. People book us all around. So shows, parties, kids parties, we have a regular costumes like SpongeBob, different like more friendly costumes as well.
Now, Chucky, I'm sure you want to say something to the kids. Anything you want to say to them as they go trick-or-treating this Halloween?
Well, Freddie basically went across everything. So I just want to tell everybody have fun. You know, it's been a tough year. We've been locked down for basically 2 years now. So just go out have fun and remember that, hey, there's still a chance, you know, to have some fun. Go out, enjoy yourself, because you know there's a lot going on. So this is not only going to be something for Halloween, it's going to be like for every month. So for Christmas, you're going to be seeing something. We're looking into Thanksgiving. So there's going to be something for every season. So you just plan to just strictly entertain and just bring the fun back that Nassau normally have.
So should Bahamians look out for you guys sometime today, tomorrow, heading into Halloween? Should we be able to see you on our streets?
Chest Road.
Mr.
Yeah,
Ferguson?
like we started off a marathon wall. We all over Nassau. We went viral on Facebook, Twitter. So you guys could look out for Mask World 242, TikTok. We on every social media. We are like one of the most famous couples now.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition. All the best to you guys for Halloween. Thank you so much. And after break, we end the week with some good old entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so keep it locked.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents. while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ferguson. During this global pandemic, we ask for you to be responsible. As we fight this COVID-19 virus together, we would like to encourage you to do the following. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth and nose with a flex elbow or tissue when coughing and sneezing. Please practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. If you must go out, wear a mask. We stay here for you. Please stay home for us. To those who are on the front line, we salute you as we continue this fight together.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with GD Media Solutions and this television station.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence, we cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the Northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
Weekend is here, and that's right, it's time for some good old entertainment to set the mood. This morning we're joined by musician Lamont Gibson. Lamont, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Hi, morning. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us, how did you get into music and playing the trumpet?
Well, I would say initially my parents, they play great music around the home, so I think that would have probably been the beginning stages of me taking it internally. And of course, at some point in time, I was introduced into an instrument, which is the trumpet, and that was all she wrote. I just took it from there.
And what are you actually performing for us this morning, your medleys? What are you performing?
I'm going to perform a tune for you. It's a very funk, laid-back number. It's performed by Grover Washington. It's called Wine Light.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Lamont Gibson.
Thank you.